Poverty is normally thought of as a social problem that's dealt through policy and social science. Well, there's really two dimensions of poverty that link it to neuroscience. One is that poverty is a state of chronic stress, and the second is that poverty involves financial decision-making. And these are both things that neuroscience has studied relatively extensively, especially stress. So the first thing is that poverty is a state of chronic stress, and this can be shown physiologically. If you measure the blood pressure or hormones of people in poverty, they're highly elevated compared to normal population, and this is true even in children living in poverty. So it's important to show this in children because with adults, you could argue that their bad life choices, their smoking, their drinking, their lack of exercise, is what led them to have high blood pressure. But it's hard to make the same argument for children. And neuroscience has been studying stress for over 100 years. And of course, we all use the word stress. You know, I'm stressed about work, I'm stressed about giving this talk, I'm stressed about this or that. But in biology, we have a more specific definition of stress. And a stressor, something that gives us stress, is anything that takes us out of balance. And we use this word homeostasis, but it's really just a sense of balance with the environment. So hunger, thirst, being tired, being lonely, feeling out of control, these are all stressors. And normally, stress is actually good, because let's say I'm hungry, so I feel stress. The hunger is motivating me to do something. It's motivating me to go out and get food, and then I eat, and then I bring myself back into balance. But if I'm living in poverty and I can't afford to get food, then my hunger persists, and that acute stress, which made me seek food, actually leads to chronic stress, which creates long problems. And for people sitting in the audience here, I don't imagine most of you are suffering from hunger, but we all have stress related to, let's say, work deadlines. And if, let's say, we have a deadline, we have to hand in some work, and that makes us work hard and we do well. So that was good stress. The stress made us do something and we achieved balance again. But if we have too much work and we're constantly missing deadlines and we can't re-achieve balance, then that leads to chronic stress. And we know chronic stress has serious long-term negative consequences for the body and the brain. In the brain, chronic stress leads to weakening of the parts of the brain involved in memory and executive function, things like self-control and decision-making. And it strengthens the parts of the brain involved in habit and instinct.